Okay, so we are going to transplant some ginger. You remember the ginger that I rooted? Well, here it is, and it's ready to go into some pots. So that's what we're going to be doing. Stay tuned. Alright, so first thing I gotta do is clean out some pots of some of my dead plants that didn't make it through our little short hard freeze at Christmas time. So we're gonna be taking this out and rejuvenating the soil a bit and planting up some ginger. Alright, so I need to get this pot cleaned up. This is some rosemary. It actually wasn't from the freeze. I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't take well to transplanting last season. So I'm gonna dig it up. I have some more started in the house. It probably needed to be transplanted into the ground, and of course I didn't do that. So I always forget to put my gloves on, and I wind up with like really dirty fingernails. All right, so we're gonna get all these weeds out. This is actually wild lettuce. I'll give it to the chickens. If I wanted to grow that wild lettuce, I could grow it much bigger and harvest the leaves. But the chickens will like it just as well. All right, so what are we gonna do? We need to rejuvenate this a bit, so I need something to put some of this soil in. So ginger has a pretty long growing season. And the good thing is if you start it early indoors under grow lights, you can get full advantage of that growing season. It takes about 10 months. For you to be able to harvest any. I have grown it, but I have not started it that early before. And you really do need that whole season because it will die back in the wintertime. I'm going to get as much of this root material out of here because it seems to be way down there. At least break it up. So just remember your old plant matter. If you bury it deep enough, it can become compost in your pot. Oops, let's make a mess. So with ginger being a root crop, I want to add phosphorus and calcium. So let's see. And I also want some nitrogen to the mix because you're growing greenery too. And of course your greenery is going to be what's responsible for your photosynthesis. Now the nice thing is with ginger, you don't need a deep pot, although I have one, because it's going to grow out and fill up. So I don't want to put more than 2 or 3 plants in a big pot like this. So let me take some of this out and get some eggshell. What's nice about having chickens is we get plenty of eggs and plenty of eggshell, and I do save my eggshells, and I actually keep them in a roasting pan in the oven, and so they slowly but surely get any bacteria cooked off of them when I'm preheating the oven. I want to add a lot of the eggshells. Now the eggshells are going to make the soil lighter as well, and add some calcium and phosphorus into the mix. You can feed your eggshells back to your chickens, but chickens get plenty of calcium in their diet. So, now, I'm going to wait and add the rest of my fertilizer. Because I'm going to use a prepared organic fertilizer. See, look at all these ginger plants I've got. And this is from store-bought ginger. So don't think you can't grow it from store-bought ginger. Now, I may wind up putting a little bit more than a couple in here, simply because I don't really want to separate these right now. But you can see how well they rooted. And it's from these roots that your ginger will actually grow. And it smells so good. And this one actually has quite a few sprouts coming up, so I'm gonna like put this one right in the center. Just like so. And give it some room to spread. And then we're gonna add back the soil. And I'm going to put it in place and water it. And we're going to do another one. I'm not sure what happened to all this rosemary. Break this up. Okay, so this one's got bottles in the bottom. I put plastic bottles in the bottom of some of these things to keep from having to use so much soil. And ginger is going to grow deeper, but not terribly deep. So I think we're okay leaving the bottles in the bottom of this one. Oh, I was going to mix some of this in here. Now the eggshells will break down over time. It's not going to be an instant thing for them. Alright, so we're going to put a couple of these in here. And you also have to remember ginger is a tropical plant. So in order to get your 10 months of growing season out of it, you probably need to start it early indoors under grow lights, like I did. You just want to make sure all the roots are covered. And then, like I said, we'll get an organic fertilizer mixed with water, and we'll water them in. This is a kind of a heavy potting mix here. So I'm going to lighten it up with a bit of perlite. Perlite is a natural substance from the earth, and it helps to aerate the soil. And you add some eggshells. So I know ginger isn't necessarily from a seed, but it was cheap because I used grocery store ginger to start this, and I'm hopefully going to get quite a few plants out of it. So I guess it does qualify for cheap seed challenge. So check out the hashtag cheap seed challenge on Nature's Image Farms with Susan Burns. We are trying to grow our own using inexpensive methods. So you can see I have reused potting mix. I grew the ginger, or rooted it anyway, from store-bought ginger in the produce section. It was not labeled as organic, so honestly I don't know. Even though I do prefer organic when it comes to growing and surviving, I'm not fussy. I figure eventually all of the stuff that was in there is going to dissipate out anyway. All right, so this may go in as one big clump because I don't want to do any breaking. I'm not that familiar with ginger. So this is one big clump and one hanging down there. So we're just going to put that in there, and hopefully, I hope it's going to be a big enough container. And again, just make sure all of the roots and rhizome is covered with soil. All right, and then we will water these in before we get them all cleared up. I got 3 more. And I will add some mix in with it. Some peat moss. There's one little one. There's 2 little ones. There's some more. And we may have to transplant these up again. We'll just have to see as they grow, because I'll be crowding out this pot like crazy. Again, we just make sure we cover the roots. It's not fussy like strawberries and asparagus where you have to have the crowns. Now, something else I have for fertilizer. Take you over to my little compost, part of my compost farm here. So, remember these? There's Jack, and there's Janet and Chrissy. And look what we have under here. Oh, wow. This is like gold. I'll try to get as much of the hay out as possible. This is like liquid gold fertilizer here. Well, not liquid gold. It is not liquid. But rabbit manure can be used as is. It's a cold manure. So it's not like chicken manure that needs to be composted. Although I have been known to use even chicken manure and whatnot. All right, my little fertilizer factories. So let's see. I need to go behind here. My patio is a mess right now. I'm gonna try to get it cleaned. Straighten up all my dead plants out. All right, so I'm gonna give some rabbit pellets. I'm gonna give them a little hay. It's not gonna hurt them. Apparently a wasp. I'm getting inundated with wasp already. Alright, so we got some rabbit manure around our ginger. And we're going to water them in and see how they do out here. And it's going to clear off some area in the seed starting station inside for more seeds. And I've got a pan of eggshells in the oven ready to grind up. All right, so that's what we're doing for now. Thanks and have a great day.